A four-person family lived in a charming home on Maple Street. Lily and Oliver were two active children who liked showing their parents, Mom and Dad, how much fun they had. One beautiful morning, Lily dressed her doll by herself, while Oliver made a towering structure with his blocks. They called out to their busy parents.
Look, Mommy, I dressed my doll.
Check out my tower, Dad. It is tall.
Mom and Dad smiled, but they were too busy to play with the kids. Lily and Oliver felt a little sad. After breakfast, they came up with an idea. They decided to draw a big picture on the living room wall to get their parents' attention. They used crayons and markers to draw rainbows, stars, and a large smiling sun. When Mom and Dad saw the wall, they were taken by surprise.
Oh no, what have you done?
You know you're not supposed to draw on the walls.
Lily and Oliver felt scared and sorry. They only wanted their parents to notice them. Mom and Dad sat down with them and asked why they did it.
We wanted you to see our pictures and spend time with us.
We understand that you want our attention. We love your creativity, but drawing on walls is not okay.
We need to clean this up together. We're not mad. Just remember to find other ways to show your ideas.
Lily and Oliver felt better knowing that their parents still loved them. They cleaned the wall together. Mom and Dad explained that it was okay to make mistakes, and that they still loved them very much. The following weekend, Mom and Dad surprised them with large sheets of paper and lots of art supplies.
Now you can draw and paint as much as you want, but on paper.
Thank you, Mommy and Daddy.
They spent the afternoon making lovely artwork with their parents. It was a fun family activity. Lily and Oliver realized that their parents loved them even when they were busy. They felt more confident and happy. Lily and Oliver grew up in their lovely Maple Street home, knowing they were loved and accepted no matter what. They were always comfortable and happy with their family. Every night, Mom and Dad reminded them.
We love you just the way you are, and we always will.
So Lily and Oliver lived happily, surrounded by love and understanding, in their lovely home on Maple Street.
Lily is a small girl who loves to play, explore, and learn new things. But like many children her age, she did not always understand the value of responsibility. One sunny morning, Lily's mother called her to the living room.
Lily, we have a special task today. We're going to learn about responsibility. Are you ready?
What are we going to do, Mom?
We're going to learn about recycling. It's important to sort our trash properly so we can help the environment.
Lily's mother took her to the recycling bins outside and taught her to separate different materials.
By doing this, we're taking responsibility for our waste and ensuring it gets recycled instead of ending up in a landfill.
Lily thought it was fascinating. She asked questions and quickly learned how to properly sort the trash.
It's like a puzzle.
Exactly. And by being responsible with our trash, we're helping to care for our planet.
The next day, Lily's mother decided to extend her lesson on responsibility.
Lily, we're going to give you another special task. You will be responsible for watering the garden every day this week. It's important to take care of our plants.
Lily felt excited about her new responsibility.
Mom, I can do it. I love the garden.
Her mother showed her how to gently water the plants, ensuring each one had enough water.
Remember, caring for the garden means you must do it every day, even if you're tired or busy.
At first, Lily helped with recycling and watering the garden, but after a few days, she got tired and wanted to quit. Her mother noticed and decided to talk to her.
Lily, I see you're tired. It's normal to feel that way sometimes, but taking responsibility means sticking to our tasks, even when they are hard.
Why do I have to do it, Mom?
Taking responsibility helps us grow and learn. It shows that we care for our family, home, and environment. You're doing a great job, and I'm proud of you. Keep going, and you'll see how worthwhile it is.
After that talk, Lily took her responsibilities seriously. Every morning, she got up early to water the garden with her mother. She loved watching the plants grow and bloom, knowing she was helping them thrive. By the end of the week, the garden looked better than ever. One evening, as they sat in the living room, Lily's mother said,
Lily, you've done a great job this week. You've learned about recycling and taking care of the garden. How do you feel?
I feel proud and happy. I enjoy being responsible. It makes me feel grown up and helpful.
That's the spirit, Lily. Growing up requires responsibility. It helps us make good choices and care for the things and people we care about.
Lily's mother continued to help her think through what needed to be done and encouraged her to take the initiative. She sometimes took responsibility for her room and helped in the kitchen. And sometimes when she played with her toys with her older brother, they always tidied up together. Lily eagerly took on her responsibilities day after day. She realized that being responsible was more than just following rules. It also meant making good choices and contributing to her family and community.
Oliver was a cheerful 5-year-old boy who loved playing with his toys. He had a little sister named Lily, who was 3. Oliver believed he was the best big brother because he always helped his mom care for his little sister and behaved well. Oliver saw a new toy car in the store window one sunny afternoon. It was bright red and shiny, with wheels that spun perfectly. Oliver's eyes sparkled with excitement. He ran to his mom and dad, who were walking nearby.
Mom, Dad, can I get that toy car, please?
I'm sorry, dear, but we already have a toy car at home that looks just like this one.
Oliver's face fell. He felt a mix of anger and sadness.
But I want it. I feel like you don't love me anymore.
Oliver, we love you very much. However, sometimes we have to say no because fulfilling all your requests isn't always best for you.
But you love Lily more. She doesn't help as much as I do. She doesn't even listen sometimes. Why do you love her more?
Oliver cried, tears starting to form in his eyes. Mom sat down beside him and gently placed her hand on his shoulder.
Oliver, you're very upset because we said no to the toy. It's okay to feel sad and angry. We understand your feelings.
Oliver looked at his mom, surprised. She understood how he felt. His breathing slowed down a bit and he felt a little calmer.
Oliver, we love Lily just as much as we love you. Love isn't something you earn by being good or helping out. We love you both no matter what.
When we said no to the toy, it wasn't because we don't love you. It's because we already have a similar toy and buying another one would be wasteful. But that doesn't change how much we care about you.
Oliver thought about it. He still felt a little sad, but he didn't feel as angry anymore.
So, you love me even when I'm mad?
Yes, Oliver. We love you always, no matter what.
Next time you feel upset, you can take a deep breath instead of shouting, or go aside to calm down. Then we can talk about what's bothering you.
Oliver nodded. He felt understood and cared for.
Okay, I'll try that.
If you want to play with new toys, perhaps you could consider trading toys with your friends. That way, you can enjoy playing together and try out different toys.
That's a great idea. I'll ask Tommy if he wants to trade cars.
That evening, as Oliver lay in bed, he thought about what his parents had said. He realized that they loved him and Lily unconditionally, valuing them for who they were, regardless of whether they granted their request or not. Feeling loved and cherished, Oliver drifted off to sleep with a smile on his face, knowing that he was a special part of his family.
Nancy was a happy young girl who had just started primary school. She lived in a lovely home with her loving mother and father. One Saturday morning, the family sat at the table for breakfast.
Nancy, I noticed you made your bed all by yourself this morning. You did a great job. Thank you for helping to clean your room. It gave me more time to prepare breakfast.
Nancy's face brightened with excitement at her mother's compliments. She realized she could complete tasks successfully.
Mom, I've grown up. I can help with more chores.
Dad smiled warmly.
I believe you can be a great helper for Mom.
Nancy felt happy knowing that her parents appreciated her efforts. After breakfast, Nancy was ready to keep helping around the house. She saw her bedroom needed cleaning and decided to take action.
I'll clean up my bedroom.
She collected her toys, rearranged the cushions, and dusted the desk. When she was finished, the room looked clean and comfortable. Mom entered Nancy's bedroom and noticed her work.
I see you've tidied up your bedroom. It looks great. Thank you, Nancy. And I believe you can keep the room this neat every day.
Nancy felt proud and satisfied after her mom's words. Every day, Mom and Dad expressed their gratitude for Nancy's efforts. They always recognized and complimented Nancy for things like setting the table, helping with groceries, or being kind.
Thank you for helping with dinner, Nancy. You've made everything so much easier.
Thank you for carrying the groceries, Nancy. You're a great help.
Nancy smiled, knowing her efforts were recognized and valued. Nancy snuggled close to her parents, feeling loved and appreciated, and she also learned how to express gratitude to her parents.
Thank you for reading me a bedtime story, Mom. And thank you for playing with me, Dad.
We love spending time with you.
You are the best, Nancy.
Nancy continued to grow and learn at home. She realized that gratitude made everyone happy and motivated them to do their best. One time, Nancy and her buddy Lily struggled with a puzzle while playing. She remembered how her parents always encouraged her not to give up. So she told her friend,
Let's try again and solve this puzzle together. I believe we can do it.
Nancy and Lily tried again and finally completed the puzzle. They clapped their hands with joy.
Great job, Lily. Thank you for trying with me.
Thank you, Nancy. Your encouragement made me feel like I shouldn't give up.
Mom looked at Nancy with pride that night as they sat down together.
I appreciate all the wonderful things you do.
And we believe you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
With the loving and admiring influence of Nancy's parents, Nancy discovered the true meaning of being treasured and cherished. She came to understand that appreciation could make everyone feel joyful and supported.
Tommy, a young boy, lived in a small but comfortable house. Tommy was curious and energetic. He had two loving parents who cared greatly about his happiness and health. One day, after playing outside, Tommy's mom called him for the meal. As they gathered to eat, Tommy's dad said,
Tommy, we need to talk about your bedtime.
Tommy frowned. He didn't like bedtime because it meant the end of his fun day.
Why must I go to bed so early?
Tommy, having a good night's sleep is very important. It helps you grow, keeps you healthy, and gives you energy for the next day.
But I'm not tired.
We understand you don't feel tired right now, but we need to set a bedtime rule. How about we explain why it's important and listen to your thoughts?
Tommy nodded, feeling a bit better.
Good sleep helps your body and brain. When you sleep, you become stronger and smarter. Also, you'll feel grumpy and tired if you don't get enough sleep.
Tommy thought about it. He didn't like feeling grumpy.
But can I stay up just a little longer?
We want to be fair. How about this? We set your bedtime at 8:30 p.m.
That is not fair. Why can you stay up later? I want to stay up later too.
We don't stay up late just for fun. We have our bedtime, but it's a little later than yours because we have adult responsibilities, like taking care of the house and planning for the next day. You need more sleep than we do because you're still growing.
But I don't think it's fair.
We understand how you feel, but enough sleep helps you grow strong and stay healthy. We want you to have enough energy for all the fun things you do during the day.
But why 8:30? Can't it be later?
We know it's hard, but we need to set a bedtime to ensure you get enough sleep. How about we make a small change? You can have an extra 15 minutes if you need to finish something important or want to relax a bit.
Okay, that sounds better.
So, you'll start getting ready for bed at 8:15 p.m. and by 8:30 p.m. If you use your extra 15 minutes, you'll be in bed by 8:45 p.m.
Tommy nodded, happy with the plan. He realized his parents cared about his feelings and tried to be fair. That night, when the clock showed 8:15 p.m., his parents reminded him it was time to start getting ready for bed. Tommy climbed into bed. His mom came to kiss him and said,
Your little toys are already in bed and waiting for you. Let's see who falls asleep first, you or them.
Tommy looked at his toys, which were neatly arranged on his bed. He giggled and snuggled under his cozy blanket.
Good night, everyone.
Tommy whispered to his toys. He closed his eyes, feeling warm and comfortable in his bed. Tommy listened to the gentle sounds of the night and soon fell asleep, thinking of new adventures with his favorite toys. After some time following his new bedtime rule, Tommy woke up feeling refreshed and happy. He realized that his parents' bedtime rule made him feel good. He had more energy to play and learn new things. Tommy learned that rules were there to help him and that his parents cared about his feelings. They all worked together to create a happy and healthy routine for Tommy. Tommy and his parents lived happily, always respecting each other's thoughts and feelings, and working together to make their home a place of love and understanding.
Tommy loved weekends. Every week, his parents made sure they had a special date. Tommy, his parents, and their dog always enjoy family activities outside. This Saturday morning, Tommy leaped out of bed, thrilled. He put on his favorite helmet and eagerly awaited his parents.
Are you ready for our adventure?
Ready?
They rode their bikes, with their dog cheerfully running next to them. The breeze was gentle, and the sun shone brightly. Tommy enjoyed feeling the breeze on his face and listening to the birds sing. They had picnics and played games at the park. Tommy's parents cheered him on as he showed off his biking skills.
You're doing great, Tommy. You're getting better every week.
Thanks, Dad.
After their ride, they sat on the lawn. They ate sandwiches and drank lemonade. Their dog lay down beside them, panting happily. These moments made Tommy feel happy and loved. On Saturday, Tommy was very excited about their usual family activities, but his dad had to leave for a last-minute work trip and couldn't take him outside. Tommy felt very sad and didn't understand why his dad had to break their promise. Seeing Tommy upset, his dad apologized to Tommy and promised to talk with him after he got back home. To cheer Tommy up, his mom decided to play games with him in the garden. They played hide and seek and planted some flowers. Tommy felt much better, knowing his dad cared and his mom was there to have fun with him. In the evening, Tommy's dad came home. Tommy was very happy seeing his dad and ran to him, saying how much he missed him.
Did you have fun today, Tommy?
Yes, we planted some flowers and played games. I couldn't finish my Rubik's Cube today.
That's okay, Tommy. You can try again tomorrow. We're proud of your efforts.
His dad kissed Tommy's forehead and thanked him for forgiving him for missing their family activity. He suggested they have a special breakfast together the next morning, making pancakes with all of Tommy's favorite toppings. Tommy was very happy and eagerly agreed. Tommy, his parents, and their dog continued their wonderful weekend moments. They also learned new things together, like going to the zoo to recognize new animals, or visiting a museum to learn about history. Through these special moments, their bond grew stronger. Tommy learned that spending time with loved ones is very valuable. He learned the importance of being there for one another and sharing special moments. Most importantly, he learned that his parents would always be there to support him, no matter what. Tommy felt very happy knowing he was loved and cared for every day.
Tommy had always struggled with carrots and broccoli. Every time these vegetables appeared on his plate, he would push them away, his face wrinkling in disgust. Tommy's parents noticed this and decided to help him, not by forcing him to eat them, but by understanding his feelings and gently encouraging him. One evening during dinner, his mom asked softly,
Tommy, can you tell us why you don't like carrots and broccoli?
Carrots are too crunchy, and broccoli tastes weird.
We understand, Tommy. Everyone has foods they don't like, but maybe we can find a way to make them taste better for you.
Tommy wasn't sure, but he felt relieved that his parents weren't upset with him. Instead, they wanted to help. The next day, his mom tried something new. She grated the carrots and mixed them into a batch of sweet muffins.
Tommy, try this yummy treat. There's a surprise inside.
What's the surprise?
Carrots. But they taste different in muffins, don't they?
Tommy nodded, realizing that maybe carrots weren't so bad after all. For the broccoli, his dad tried a different approach. He knew Tommy didn't like how broccoli felt in his mouth, so he steamed it lightly and sprinkled some cheese on top.
Tommy, Tonight, the broccoli is wearing a cheesy coat. Why don't you give it a try?
Tommy hesitated but felt comforted by his dad's encouragement. He took a small bite, and the cheese made the broccoli taste better.
You did great, Tommy. We're so proud of you for trying.
As time went on, Tommy started to feel more confident. His parents never pressured him, but always showed him love and support. Sometimes they made eating vegetables into a game, pretending the broccoli were tiny trees that needed to be eaten to save the forest. Other times, they let Tommy choose how he wanted his carrots prepared, whether in soup, muffins, or with a little honey. With each small step, Tommy's confidence grew. He realized his parents were always there to cheer him on, making him feel stronger. Their love and acceptance helped him not just with eating, but also with believing in himself. Slowly, Tommy's fear of carrots and broccoli faded away. He learned that with his parents' support and courage, he could overcome his fears and even enjoy the foods he once avoided. Thanks to their gentle guidance, Tommy grew not only in his eating habits, but also in his self-confidence.
Tommy was a bright, energetic boy who lived with his parents and their friendly dog. One day, Tommy's dad accidentally broke a small lamp while fixing something around the house.
Oops. Looks like I'm better at breaking things than fixing them. But don't worry, I'll clean it up and fix it. No big deal.
Tommy giggled at his dad's lighthearted reaction. He was surprised that his dad didn't get mad and handled the mistake with a smile.
That's right. Everyone makes mistakes. It is important to stay calm, fix what you can, and learn from it. That's part of being responsible.
Tommy felt relieved and realized that it's okay to laugh and try again even when things go wrong. At home, Tommy's parents encouraged him to take on more responsibilities. They believed in his ability to learn and grow, but also understood that it wasn't always easy. One day, Tommy was playing in the living room when he accidentally knocked over a glass of juice, spilling it all over the floor. He felt nervous, worrying about how his parents would react. He ran to his room, upset and unsure what to do. His mom found him sitting quietly in his room, looking sad.
It's okay, Tommy. Mistakes happen. I know you didn't mean to spill the juice. The most important is how you handle it now. You can clean it up and I'll be here to help.
Her words reassured Tommy. His mom believed in him and encouraged him to face the problem, reminding him that he wasn't alone. With her support, Tommy grabbed a towel and cleaned up the spill, feeling more confident as he worked. His mom also reminded Tommy that he could take a break to calm down whenever he felt frustrated or upset. She gave him a special calm down box filled with crayons, Play-Doh, and a softly scented lotion. Whenever Tommy felt overwhelmed, he could use the items in the box to relax and think about how to handle his feelings.
Taking care of your emotions is part of being responsible too. It's okay to feel angry or sad, but learning how to calm down and handle those feelings is important.
Tommy loved his calm down box. It helped him feel better when things didn't go his way, and reminded him to control his emotions and respond better. Over time, Tommy understood that mistakes are a normal part of life, and that what truly matters is how we respond to them. Just like his dad, he could stay calm, fix what went wrong, and move forward. Tommy knew his parents trusted him, believed in his ability to handle things, and always supported him. Being responsible wasn't about being perfect. It was about learning, being honest, and always doing his best. With each new task and challenge, Tommy grew more confident. With this understanding, Tommy continued to grow, ready to face the world and any mistakes that came his way, knowing that they were simply chances to learn and improve. Billy was an outgoing boy who enjoyed playing outside and exploring new things. But there was one thing that often made Billy feel frustrated: his math grades. No matter how hard he tried, Billy just couldn't seem to get the right answers on his math tests. Each time he got his test back, the score was low, and Billy would feel a tight knot in his stomach.
What if Mom and Dad are disappointed in me? Will they still love me if I keep getting bad grades?
One day, after receiving another low score, Billy walked home slowly, feeling ashamed. clutching his report card tightly in his hands. He didn't want to show it to his parents. He was afraid they might be angry or upset. When he arrived home, his mom was waiting for him at the kitchen table, smiling.
Hi, Billy. How was school today?
Billy hesitated, then handed her the report card without saying anything. His mom smiled as she looked at the poor grade and then back at Billy.
Billy, are you okay?
Mom, I still got a low score. Are you mad at me?
Oh, Billy, I'm not mad at all. Although I might feel a bit sad, I know how hard you've worked. Even if your math grade isn't high, that doesn't mean you're a failure. Your grade doesn't change how much I love you. I love you for who you are, not your grades. And you do so well in other areas. Like when you help your little brother with his studies or play soccer with such energy and teamwork.
But I did so poorly. I thought you would be very upset.
Getting a low score doesn't make me love you any less. What matters is that you keep trying and never give up. And if you need help, I'm here for you.
How about Dad? Will he be upset?
Believe me, Billy, your dad loves you just as much as I do. He'll want to help you too, just like I do.
Billy's father came home that evening, and he showed him the report card, bracing himself for a lecture. But instead of being angry, his dad smiled warmly.
Billy, thank you for showing me your report card. I know math is hard for you, but that's okay. Let's work on it together, okay? We can practice and find ways to make math easier for you.
Billy was amazed. His parents weren't angry at all. They wanted to help him, even though his grades weren't great. For the first time, Billy realized that their love wasn't based on his achievements. They loved him just because he was their son. Billy and his parents worked together on his math. They made it fun by turning problems into games and practicing a little each day. Slowly, Billy started to understand the concepts better. He was no longer afraid of math because he knew that even if he didn't get the best grades, his parents would still be proud of him for trying. Billy returned home from another math test with a score that was a little better than before. He was excited to show his parents, but he also knew that even if the score had been low, his parents would still love him just the same.
Great job, Billy. I can see that you're improving. I'm so proud of you for not giving up.
Remember, Billy, it's not about being perfect. It's about doing your best and learning along the way. No matter what your grades are, we're here to help you and support you. We love you for who you are.
Billy felt a warm feeling inside. He knew now that his parents' love was unconditional. It didn't depend on his grades or how well he did in school. They loved him just for being Billy, which made him feel safe and cherished. As time went on, Billy continued to work on his math, but he wasn't afraid anymore. He knew that even when things were tough, his parents would always be there for him. He knew that his home was a place where he could be himself, make mistakes and learn from them, and always be loved, unconditionally.
Nancy was a cheerful little girl who loved reading books. One day, her parents decided to take her to the library. Nancy was excited when she saw all the colorful storybooks. She ran from shelf to shelf, eager to read whatever she could find.
Mom, Dad, can you please read me this story? And this one too?
Nancy, let's choose a few books to take home. We can read them together later. When we return these books, we can borrow more.
Nancy thought about it and agreed, but she still wanted to borrow all the books.
We can borrow a few today and come back for the others next time. This way, you'll always have something to look forward to.
Later, Nancy's parents wanted to teach her how to be quiet in public places. Her mom asked if she wanted to go to the art museum with her the next day. Nancy gladly nodded and agreed.
Nancy, at the art museum, we need to be quiet so everyone can enjoy the exhibits. Also, don't touch the items on display. Can you do that?
Nancy promised to do her best. But when they got to the art museum, Nancy couldn't help herself. She was so curious about the exhibits that she started cheering and reaching out to touch them.
Nancy, remember, we have to use our inside voices here. Can you please lower your voice? Also, avoid touching the items on display.
If I lower my voice, what do I get?
When you speak softly, you help everyone around you enjoy the museum too.
But why can't I touch the things on display?
The exhibits are very special, and some are very old. If we touch them, they might get damaged, and then other people won't be able to enjoy them. So it's important to look, but not touch.
Nancy understood and worked hard to speak quietly while enjoying the museum without disturbing others.
Nancy, you did much better today than the last time we went to the library. I'm proud of you for doing your best.
Later that evening, when Nancy's dad came home from work, her mom shared the news.
Guess what, Dad? Nancy did something great today. She spoke softly in the museum and learned a lot.
I heard you did an excellent job today, Nancy. You had trouble keeping your voice down the last few times we went to the library, but today you did it. That's awesome. You're growing up and learning so much.
Nancy felt proud and happy. She liked hearing their praise, but she also started feeling proud of herself for growing up. Over time, Nancy continued to learn and try new things. Her parents always praised her efforts, not just her successes. Nancy continued to grow, always knowing that her mom and dad were there to support her every step of the way.
Tommy loved going to the park. He enjoyed running, jumping, and playing with his friends for hours. One sunny afternoon, Tommy played in the sand pit, building castles and digging holes. He was having so much fun throwing sand in the air. Some of it landed in the eyes of a little girl nearby, and she began to cry.
Tommy, stop throwing sand. You're hurting others.
But I'm just playing.
He felt anger rising inside him. Why couldn't he play the way he wanted?
I know you're having fun, but throwing sand can hurt people. We need to leave the park now.
Tommy's face turned red with frustration. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay and play more. He began to cry loudly, feeling like everything was unfair.
You don't let me do anything. I don't like rules.
I understand you're angry, but we have to think about others too. When you throw sand, it hurts people, like that little girl. Now we need to apologize to her.
Tommy, still upset, wiped his eyes and looked at the crying girl. He didn't want to apologize, but his mom gently guided him over.
I'm sorry for throwing sand.
The little girl sniffled and forgave him.
That was very kind of you to apologize. Now let's go home and tomorrow we can come back if you remember the rules.
Tommy felt a bit better after apologizing, but he was still upset as they left the park.
I know it's hard when things don't go your way, but you did a brave thing by apologizing. We can always try again tomorrow.
As they arrived home, Tommy felt a big knot in his stomach. He was still upset. He didn't like being told what to do. It made him feel like his fun was being taken away. He crossed his arms and pouted.
I know you're unhappy about leaving the park because I told you what to do. It's hard when things don't go how we want.
Tommy stayed quiet. He wasn't just sad about leaving the park. He felt like no one understood how much he wanted to stay. Deep down, he wondered if his mom disliked how he played.
Tommy, I love you. But growing up means learning to follow rules, even when we don't like them. Do you understand why we had to leave the park?
Because I was throwing sand.
Yes. Throwing sand can hurt others, and it's important to be careful when we play. But that doesn't mean you're a bad kid. It just means you're still learning.
The next day, Tommy's mom kept her promise, and they returned to the park. Tommy was excited, but also a little nervous. He didn't want to get in trouble again. After a while, Tommy's friend Jack came over.
Let's throw sand and see who can throw it the farthest.
Tommy clenched his fists. He wanted to have fun too, but this time Tommy didn't join in. He remembered what his mom had said. He didn't have to like the rules, but they were there for a reason. Even though it was hard, he knew his mom was trying to help him, not stop his fun.
I can't throw sand. It might hurt someone.
That's boring.
Tommy felt a little sad, but he knew he was doing the right thing, even though it wasn't easy.
How about we build the biggest castle ever instead?
At first, his friend looked at him like he was a bit strange, but then he agreed, and soon everyone worked together, building a huge sandcastle without throwing any sand. When they were done, Tommy felt proud, not just because of the castle, but because he had made a good choice. He knew now that he could handle it even when things didn't go his way.
I saw you being very careful today, Tommy. I know it was hard not to throw sand with your friends.
It was hard hard, Mom. I wanted to throw sand like Jack, but I remembered what you said about the rules.
That's part of growing up, Tommy. Sometimes we don't get to do everything we want, but it helps us learn to be strong. You're learning to think before you act, and that's a big step.
Tommy smiled a little. He still didn't like rules, but he started understanding why they were important. He knew he was still learning, but with his mom's love and support, he felt stronger than ever.
Billy was a happy boy who loved spending time with his parents. Every morning, either his mom or dad would drive him to school. They took turns, making sure Billy felt special every day. On the way to school, they would sing funny songs together, filling the air with laughter. Billy knew his parents were busy at work, but they always made time for him. This made him feel safe and loved. He understood they would always have time for him no matter how busy they were. One day, Billy's teacher told the class that they would put on a big performance at the end of the term. Billy felt excited, but also nervous. He wanted to do well, but was worried about forgetting his lines or making a mistake in front of everyone. Seeing how nervous Billy was, his parents decided to help him get ready. Every night, they would practice his lines together. His dad pretended to be the audience, clapping and cheering whenever Billy got a line correct. His mom helped him with the tricky parts, repeating the words with him until he felt more confident.
You'll be amazing, Billy. Just do your best, and we'll be so proud of you.
Even though Billy was still a bit nervous, his parents' support made him feel stronger and more prepared for the big day. As the performance day got closer, Billy started to feel nervous again.
I'm scared I'll mess up. What if I forget everything while on stage?
It's fine, Billy. Everyone feels this way before anything important. But remember, you've practiced so much, and we'll be right there in the audience cheering you on.
Think about how much fun we had practicing together. When you're on stage, just smile like you always do. You've got this.
Billy felt a little more confident after hearing their statements. Finally, the day of the performance arrived. Billy was still a little nervous and took a deep breath. When he looked out from behind the curtain and saw his parents seated in the front row, smiling at him, he felt a wave of courage. As he stepped onto the stage, Billy remembered his parents' words. He imagined them clapping and cheering for him, just as they had done during their practice at home. This made him feel stronger. He took a big breath and began his performance. Throughout the show, Billy could see his parents smiling and clapping, their faces full of encouragement. This made him feel even more confident, and he gave his best performance. After the performance, Billy and his parents went home together, talking excitedly about how well he had done.
Billy, you were fantastic up there. We're so proud of you.
We knew you could do it.
Billy smiled happily. He knew how pleased his parents were with him. Billy's parents often reminded him that they would always make time for him. He knew that his parents would always be there for him, whether it was a big event or just a regular day. He felt lucky to have parents who showed him that spending time together was the best way to show love. Billy knew that as long as they were together, he would always feel loved and important.